Gang, I need to talk about this game, The Midnight World. The Midnight World is created by James Davey and Jim Beverly, combat veterans who have PTSD, suffer from trauma, and when they set out to play a game, kind of like Call of Cthulhu that have these things, it just didn't, do the things that they wanted to do or experiences they wanted out of those games that deal with trauma and seeing traumatic events. It just wasn't a true representation. And so they set out to, hobble together different mechanics for different systems and eventually wrote their own. And it is this game, The Midnight World. The Midnight World is about personal horror. It is about dread. It is about seeing these cosmic horrors and how they affect you and how that trauma affects your daily life and the things that you are trying to do and as you try to combat them. There is a similarity, I should say, to Apocalypse Keys in that you have these special powers, in this case in the Midnight World, dread manifestations, and as you use them, there is a chance of becoming the horror yourself. Like in Apocalypse Keys, you could eventually, be taken over and be responsible for an apocalyptic event. Here, I will say the difference is where Apocalypse Keys seems to be much more big in that regard. This is about the day-to-day and, again, that personal horror being taken over and losing yourself to those beyonders. How all of this is represented is by a clock. I know a lot of people who play Forged in the Dark, you're going to already have an idea of what this clock may look like. Well, it's not that, but it is super cool and I think very, very well done and helps support that feeling of personal dread. The clock is broken down into hours, minutes, and seconds, each with a 12. The hours represent your level. You basically have 12 levels, and I believe it's every even level, you get a new dread manifestation, and every odd level, you get an increase to your abilities. The minute hand, that is how you gain what they call distress die. A distress die is a D4. This is a system where you're trying to, 5s and 6s are a hit, so you have a pool of dice that you bring together, but the distress die get added in. And for every 1 that you roll on the distress die, it removes one of your hits. So gaining minutes on the clock, not that great. And of course, when you hit 12 minutes, you move to the next hour. Seconds are your ability to kind of control things a little bit. Rerolls, you can also upgrade a die from a D6 from one of your abilities up to a D8, or you can spend up to like 6 seconds to reroll all your dice. Of course, once you hit 12 seconds, you get a new minute, and of course that minute rolls over, you may get a new hour. Of course, what that means is once that character starts getting new powers, new abilities, they want to start using them. And of course, the more you use your dread manifestations, the more that clock starts going up until eventually you hit midnight and lose your character to the Beyonder and lose your character to that dramatic event. And I think that is a really awesome way to represent this whole thing is you're playing your character and watching slowly, dreadfully, as they get closer and closer to midnight as you're trying to combat these things that you're trying to win something over, right? You're trying to gain and regain and maintain your humanity, but sometimes it's just a slippery slope. When you're building your character, you can roll on these really cool tables that says one day you roll a d20, and we'll talk about the traumatic event you experienced. And you build them out through these things, and it gains all your mechanics. And what I really also like is you get to choose what is your trigger, what triggers something for your character and may gain you more distress dice, but you also have a solace, something that your character can, I always sing Billy Joel's Piano Man. That is my solace. It helps kind of center myself and helps you regain and lower seconds and minutes on your character to try to help combat that, encroaching fear in your life. If all this sounds awesome to you, please check out The Midnight World or look for The Velvet Lodge on Elder Eye Entertainment on YouTube. I swear I listen to all these episodes coming up to and back from Gen Con. One of the best, let's see, there's 6 episodes, 12 hours. There's about 2 hours apiece, 12 hours I've ever had listening to an actual play. These women did a phenomenal job. I'm crying, literal, like just feeling for every one of these characters and the moments that they go through. An incredible improvisational acting amongst everybody, and it ends in such a way that you'll never guess it, I promise. So check out The Midnight World and The Velvet Lodge. All right, we'll give you another game review soon.